So what brings you to these relational presencing practices?
Yeah, I came to the practice from meditation, from Mahasi Vipassana meditation. So there was very much like a strong desire, movement in me towards wanting to really be with my experience in each moment. Like it was extremely strong. And I think there was a point for me in that practice where I started to feel like some of my experience was a little bit excluded or like not fully welcome. And I found circling at that point, and it felt like exactly what I needed, because it felt to me like a practice of bringing in like all of my humanness, like my body, like connecting with the fullness of what it was to be here, to be human, to be in contact with others and with reality. And I think that's still what I connect to as like a core of the practice and like why I practice. It's like this sense of connection to like what's here, like contact.
What's it like for you to lead the practice?
Yeah, there's a desire to share with others what I've received myself. It's challenging for me to lead it because it feels like offering something in the world that I really care about and that like is not for everyone. Like I don't think it is or should be a practice for everyone. And there's a vulnerability in like standing for something that's important to me and like being seen in it being important to me. And acknowledging that, yeah, it might not land for some people. And yeah, there's something also in the way that the practice seems to like somewhat naturally invite people into more leadership, like of themselves. Like I think for me that seems to arise out of the surrender, out of the like being just with like what is. At least it seems like from what I see around me and like from my own journey, like that inspires some sort of like, yeah, some sort of self-leadership. And yeah, it can be challenging for me to show up in the world like in that leadership. Like I meet all sorts of like resistance and fear and like doubt and shame, and that journey has actually been like almost as powerful as, or like integrated into the practice itself, because it's like, yeah, I think one way in which I hold the practice is like it feels like just loving more of myself, like learning to love more of myself, like including more progressively. Yeah, which I think is both like can be quite intentional, and it's also seems like the simple, like, bringing of awareness to experience actually, like, contains the love for me.
What do you think people experience when they come into your spaces, or like the workshops you lead?
Yeah, there's been some journey for me around, like, how accessible do I want to make it to people. Like, it matters to me that people connect with the practice, because the practice matters to me and I want to share it. So there is part of what I navigate when I lead is, like, yeah, how much explaining to do, like, how, like, safe, like I think there's complexity to that word, but, like, yeah, I guess it is, like, how do I want people to feel, and I do want them to, yeah, to connect with the practice, which I think requires something from me, or at least it often seems to. Yeah, it's a little hard to answer the question, because I think I'm mostly going off what people have actually told me, but I think, quite often I hear, like, it's, like, so, like, it feels like coming home, or, like, it feels like so freeing to be in a space where my experience is actually welcome, or, like, social norms don't quite apply in the same way, and, one key sense is, like, my emotions are welcome here. Like, I don't have to hide my sadness or, like, my fear. And for me, that's, like, extremely profound. Like, giving people access to that, like, a space where they feel, I suppose, yeah, one way I would hold it is, like, feel freer to, like, start loving more of themselves, like, start including more of themselves. And, like, doing that in connection. Like a magic there.
Is there anything more you'd like to say? Something I missed?
Yeah, I think I also connect to, well, something that feels important to me is, like, the vastness of what can arise out of that, like, simple meeting, what is, like, simple contacting. It's like there's, like, no real limit to that as far as I can tell.
Was there more to that?
I think I had some experience of trying to capture some of that vastness, like, in language, and it felt limited. But I think what I wanted to convey was like, how meaningful it is for me to have a practice where I can contact that, like, that vastness, like that aliveness, like mystery.